This is Game On. This is where you get all the latest from the world of sports. We've got to begin with the second test that will start from the 6th of December in Adelaide. It's a day-night test match, and we take a look at how India are preparing and how Australia are looking to bounce back for this challenge. India arrived in Adelaide on Monday afternoon, and while all the talk in the Indian camp is around the unpredictability of the pink ball and what the visitors' batting order might be, for hosts Australia, who are coming off a 295-run loss in the first test, a day-night match will boost their confidence given their exceptional record in day-nighters. They will want to bounce back from their Perth setback. Australia have won 11 of their 12 pink ball test matches, and all 7 they've played at the Adelaide Oval, including a victory over India in the last home test series when they skittled Virat Kohli's team for 36. So they won all their test matches, day-night test matches in Adelaide. Australia's winning streak in day-night tests was ended in January by the West Indies, who won a cliffhanger by 8 runs at the Gabba. But there are some fitness concerns for the hosts who pulled up. First was Mitchell Marsh, the all-rounder, who pulled up sore after bowling 17 overs in Perth. Australian media have speculated that Marsh may be retained as a specialist batsman alone, though selectors brought in another all-rounder into the squad in uncapped Bo Webster. Now reports suggest that Marsh has been declared fit. Then there is another injury scare that the Australian camp had to deal with. Steve Smith, he had a mild injury scare during the net session when he was struck in the right thumb. He was given medical treatment and didn't appear to be in pain, but he did leave the nets after that injury. Australia had earlier suffered a big blow when Josh Hazlewood was ruled out of the second test, with Scott Boland expected to replace him. He has an excellent pink ball bowling record. Josh Hazlewood, he was averaging 18.86 in day-night test matches, and he really was their standout bowler in the defeat in the Perth test, claiming 4 wickets in the first innings and bowling a miserly spell in the second, even as India built a big lead. There were also reports of a rift in the Australian dressing room, which was sparked after Josh Hazlewood's remarks in the media. After Australia was set an improbable 534 to win, Josh Hazlewood had invited the media to ask their batters how they plan to go about in the second innings, starting rumours of a rift between the batting and the bowling groups. Alex Carey, their wicketkeeper, he was asked about the rift, and he declined that there were any tensions in the dressing room. With their backs against the wall, India came out all guns blazing in that Border Gavaskar Trophy series opener at Perth. They won by 295 runs with 5 for 30. Those are Bumrah's figures, 5 for 30 in the first innings and 3 for 42 in the second. Bumrah ripped apart Australia's batting. The heavy margin of defeat left Australia looking for answers as their batters flopped collectively, leaving their famed bowling attack with a lot to do. Carey said they will come up with better plans against Jasprit Bumrah in the upcoming test match. He also did not want to draw much attention to the last contest here, in which India were all out for their lowest ever test score of 36.
Look, he's obviously a fantastic bowler, has been for a number of years. Our batters are world class as well, and always find ways to come up with solutions. And we've had a look at him now, so hopefully we can combat that second spell, get him bowling a little bit deeper in the innings with an older ball. We saw Travis sort of a bit of a counter punch, so I trust our batters will find a way. Not only Bumrah, they played a couple other debutants who bowled well as well. I think if you ask the batters, we all want to perform better. And cricketers, you go out there to score 100, and if you don't do that, I think you're at times disappointed. But we're a very united group. We all do get the opportunity to bat, and we're all keen to continue to put those big runs on the board, and I trust the guys to do that. They're obviously amazing days in cricketing history, but no, we don't go out there expecting to do that again. We have a process and a plan, and try to execute, and whatever happens, happens. But I wasn't here for that test match.
Now, moving on, it's been seen as the final. Before the final, Bayern Munich will host DFB Cup holders Bayer Leverkusen in a do-or-die match at 1:30 a.m. India time on Wednesday, which is tonight. Bayer Leverkusen had created history as they went unbeaten on their way to winning the Bundesliga and the DFB Cup last season. But this term has been a mixed one for coach Xabi Alonso, with 5 consecutive draws in Bundesliga that has left them with much work to do to reach the summit. They've been more consistent in the cup competition, beating Carl Zeiss Jena and Elversberg with an aggregate score of 4-0 in the opening rounds. Bayern Munich are unbeaten in their last 8 games in all competitions. They saw their winning streak end as they were held to a 1-1 draw by Borussia Dortmund in Bundesliga. Bayern go into this game as the favourites. In their last 8 games, they have only conceded twice and are on a 5-game winning streak at home. Harry Kane limped off, though, with an injury in the first half against Dortmund. Thomas Müller or Matthias Tell will slot in for Kane. For Die Workself, Victor Boniface, he is not yet fit enough to return, so Patrick Schick will start for the visitors. But you can watch that match on News9, 9 Live tonight. Okay, with that, we are going to slip into a short break and we'll be back with much more on the other side.
It's Bayern München against Bayer Leverkusen.
Musiala!
The record cup winners against the current holders.
Oh, it's magnificent!
It was a Bayern triumph in 2020 when they met in the final.
Alaba!
Bayern lifted the trophy.
Napoli with a chance, 2-0. Radetzky makes a hash of it.
Despite Sven Bender and Kai Havertz's goals, Bayern were too strong.
Lewandowski just dinks it over the keeper. Kai Havertz, audacious shot.
The record cup winners were victorious again. Bayern won 4-2, another trophy for Bayern. Revenge is in the air for Leverkusen.
And Patrick Schick! It has come to Sané!
Who will get through to the next round? Will it be Bayern or will it be Leverkusen who spend the winter still in the cup?
न्यूज़ 9 ग्लोबल समिट में आए सभी साथियों को मेरा नमस्कार। मुझे इस बात की भी खुशी है कि न्यूज़ 9 इंग्लिश न्यूज़ चैनल भी लॉन्च किया जा रहा है।
Special congratulations to TV9. Now you are truly becoming global.
And therefore I must congratulate Varun Dasji. He has, in his own way, started an epoch-making trend.
The News 9 Global Summit is the latest example to demonstrate that India and Baden-Württemberg are getting closer in many different respects.
I compliment Mr. Jubali, Mr. Varun Das, and Mr. Casper, conceptualizing and organizing this grand platform.
And I really want to thank TV9 Group, and it's a harbinger of many things to come.
Welcome back. Manchester United are unbeaten in their first 3 games under Ruben Amorim, and they've climbed into the top half of the Premier League table. But the Portuguese faces the first real test of his managerial skills at high-flying Arsenal on Wednesday. United, who are in the 9th place with 15 points adrift of leaders Liverpool. They've struggled to score this season with 13 goals in their first 12 league matches. but the floodgates finally opened on Sunday when they thumped Everton 4-0 at Old Trafford. However, they travelled to the Emirates knowing full well the scale of the task at hand, having lost their last 3 meetings with Arsenal, who are in second spot, 6 points above United. Amorim said captain Bruno Fernandes was taken off in the 66th minute on Sunday, but he trained with the team and would be fit. Amorim also praised 19-year-old defender Lenny Yoro, who was signed from Lille this year but has yet to play in a competitive fixture for United after picking up a foot injury in pre-season.
Yeah, it's the best team. It's the best team that we faced by far. But the test is every game. If you see the last game yesterday was really tough. It was a 4-0, but you see it the game like I see it. So everything now is a test. It's important to be brave. When I say brave, it's not to pressing all the time in the raya. It's not the same. We have to understand the game, the moments of the game, and we need to have the ball. That is a key point, because we want to have the ball. We want also to dominate some moments of the game, because we know that in these matches is hard to control all the game. And we have, if I have to say something, we have to be brave and to play the game. We have one more training session to see it. Maybe Lenny Yoro is going to be in the squad. I felt that is in the good moment now. His fitness is better. So I think he is going to be in the squad. The rest I have to see it, because some players who are tired, we have to assess.
Newly appointed manager Ruud van Nistelrooy is aiming to bring a sense of positivity to Leicester City and quickly make an impression on the Premier League club's players as he looks to ensure they remain in the English top flight. The former Manchester United striker was appointed on Friday to replace Steve Cooper. He will need to hit the ground running, with the 16th place club hovering just a point above the relegation zone after 3 straight league defeats. Leicester have a tough run of fixtures that are coming up in December, including matches against Brighton and Hove and Albion, Newcastle United, Liverpool and Manchester City. The Foxes enjoyed a stunning Premier League title success in 2016 but were relegated in 2023 before coming straight back up under Enzo Maresca, who then left to join Chelsea. Van Nistelrooy, who started his coaching career at PSV Eindhoven in 2022 last month, left his role as an interim coach at United, where he led the side to 3 victories and a draw in all competitions. The 48-year-old said his short stint in charge of the Manchester United worked wonders for his profile.
Of course, when the first approach was there, and you're going to think about the club and the players and the setup and the training ground and all of these questions you have, and you're curious about people who work there. And of course, Enzo, being a great friend and a former teammate, he was the first one to call, and what better information could I get? And but to be fair, when we played against each other in the Premier League game where I did the interim against Chelsea, half an hour we spoke, and I didn't know yet about Leicester, but we spoke about it, and he was already quite positive, and very positive actually. So that only got better when I spoke to him, and I have to say he was absolutely right, being according to the first impressions that I get. I think those games, I have to be fair, what happened after the games and the amount of interest that all of a sudden was there for me, and the options that came along, I was astonished a little bit by it, because I thought, well, it's 4 games, and I've managed the full season at PSV, be able to win the cup and the Charity Shield, and the year before in the championship with young PSV. So I've been in coaching, in the 19s before in the national team. So, and it never got this reaction from the football world. So apparently it provoked these reactions, and I was only happy with that, and to get into conversations with with different parties and be able to make a decision that felt really good for me. And now I'm here.
Al Sadd claimed a 2-1 win away to Al Nassr yesterday to take the Qatari outfit into the knockout rounds of the Asian Champions League Elite. Two-time Asian Player of the Year Akram Afif broke through the Al Nassr defence to put the visitors ahead in the 53rd minute before an own goal from Morocco international defender Romain Saez saw Al Nassr equalise 10 minutes from full time. Afif proved a handful for the Al Nassr defence once again, however, winning a penalty late into the stoppage time, which was dispatched by Algeria's Adam Ounas to send all 3 points back to Qatar. Having already ensured their qualification for the knockout stage in the last round of matches, Al Nassr opted to rest 39-year-old captain Cristiano Ronaldo. The result is Al Nassr's first loss of the campaign, but they remain in the third place on 13 points, while Al Sadd climb up onto fourth on 12 points. There's some good news with Serie A. Fiorentina midfielder Eduardo Bove, he's awake and alert in hospital. This is what his club is reporting now. It's providing reassurance on his condition after he collapsed during a Serie A match against Inter Milan on Sunday. Fiorentina said that the 22-year-old had spent a peaceful night at the Careggi University Hospital in Florence and no longer required assistance with his breathing. Further tests would be conducted in the coming days in order to establish the cause of his illness. Bove has spoken to teammates on a video call, and the squad was now preparing for a match on Wednesday night when they face Empoli at home in the last 16 of the Italian club. Fiorentina owner Rocco Commisso, he has been in contact with the player's father and further reassured about his condition. Bove had suddenly collapsed in the 17th minute of the game in Florence, seconds after bending down to adjust his boot during a break in play for a VAR check. Medical personnel rushed onto the pitch with the Fiorentina players forming a ring around Bove, who arrived at the club on loan from AS Roma in August. After Bove was taken away in an ambulance, the referee asked the visibly shaken emotional players to leave the pitch and return to the dressing room. The match will be replayed at a later date. Bove has made several appearances for Italy's under-21 team and has recorded 4 assists and 1 goal in his 14 appearances for Fiorentina this season. New Inter Miami coach Javier Mascherano arrived in Florida to begin his spell in charge of the Major League Soccer side. Mascherano, who has a contract until 2027, will be linking up with old teammate Lionel Messi, who captains the team. Mascherano played for River Plate, Corinthians, Liverpool and Barcelona, where he was on the pitch with Messi both at the club and the national level. The 40-year-old has left a role coaching Argentina's youth teams, including the under-23 side at the 2024 Olympic Games. Inter Miami will be the first experience in club football management for Mascherano, nicknamed the Little Boss. In addition to Messi, he will also be managing other former Barca teammates, including Uruguay's Luis Suarez and Spain's Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. The MLS side were left without a coach when Gerardo Tata Martino stepped down from his role, citing personal reasons. Miami topped the MLS regular season standings and won the Supporters' Shield with a record 74 points in 34 games, but were knocked out of the MLS Cup playoffs earlier this month. Even though Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo no longer play for European football clubs, the iconic duo is still popular and respected by their fellow players in Europe. As the Global Players Union, FIFPro, voted to pick a 26-member shortlist for the World Football Team of the Year 2024, the 37-year-old Messi and 39-year-old Ronaldo were the only players who are not playing for a club in Europe. The other 24 nominees played in the past year with clubs in England, Germany, Spain and France, though Kylian Mbappe was the only French connection after spending last season at Paris Saint-Germain. No player from any Italian clubs was selected, nor from any club in South America or Africa. 8 players from Real Madrid, including Mbappe, Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, were on the shortlist. The 7 Manchester City players in the shortlist included Ballon d'Or winner Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. Lamine Yamal, the 17-year-old from Barcelona, who was the breakout star of Spain's European Championship title, also made it in polling by union members worldwide. Messi in Major League Soccer with Inter Miami and Ronaldo in Saudi Arabia with Al Nassr. They will find out on December 9th if they are in the World 11 lineup. They're definitely in the list of nominees. FIFPro said the final team will include the highest polling goalkeeper plus each of the top 3 vote getters among defenders, midfielders and forwards. The final place goes to the outfield player with the next highest votes in total. The Netherlands-based union said 28,000 players from 70 countries sent their votes. Well, that's it then on this edition of the Game On. But as we go, we've got a big match lined up for you tonight, which is actually Wednesday, 1:30 a.m. But yes, this is DFB Pokal. It is being seen, it is being called the final before the final in the round of 16 in DFB Pokal. Bayern Munich will take on Bayer Leverkusen. It's tonight at 1:30 a.m., which is Wednesday morning actually at 1:30 a.m. So if you guys are awake and you are excited about this, then News9 is where you need to log in. News9 Live is where you need to log in, tune in to watch that game. That's it then on this special. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
It's Bayern München against Bayer Leverkusen.
Musiala!
The record cup winners against the current holders.
Oh, it's magnificent!
It was a Bayern triumph in 2020 when they met in the final.
Alaba!
Bayern lifted the trophy.
Napoli with a chance. 2-0. Radetzky makes a hash of it.
Despite Sven Bender and Kai Havertz's goals, Bayern were too strong.
Lewandowski just dinks it over the keeper. Kai Havertz, audacious shot.
The